While on the road to Gamma Haven Season 3, we asked our community to submit lore to expand the Bloodcobble district. Let's unbox the lore for this shady, gritty, and now eerie location. When done, let us know in the comment section if this is a district you could see your character inhabiting. We're going to kick this off with some lore submitted by one of our new community members, the Odd Man. The Odd Man declares that Bloodcobble district is often foggy and has an overcast because of its microclimate similar to our real-life San Francisco or Daly City. There are rumors of potential archaeological findings underneath the district. Children with magical potential often go missing. Seems like a comfortable place, weather-wise. And regarding the archaeological findings that can be potentially found under the district, that is what I call plot food. And, we love lore submissions that can lead to other things. In regards to the children with magical potential going missing, same thing there. I mean, that's pretty strange and kind of creepy. So when I heard that, I immediately started to get just a eerie vibe about this district, which is always a good thing, right? The Odd Man says that the Bloodcobble district has a stick your neck out for nobody type of culture. If anyone has to choose between telling any sort of authority or person about anything that you've seen, they'll usually go with whatever gets them in the least trouble, including lying. I'm assuming by they, the Odd Man means blood cobblers. Looks like you can't really depend on a blood cobble stranger to look out for you, if it's putting them in the crosshairs of any kind of threat or danger, which is very interesting because there's a lot of crime in this district, it seems. So for someone to throw people under the bus, looking out for themselves, it's literally the opposite of your typical, if you snitch, you're going to get, consequences. Snitches get stitches, which I think adds a nice little fun dynamic to this district. Jacob and Jeremiah joined forces. J&J Lore submitters. They state that there is a Dulaman brewing culture in Bloodcobble. Throughout the years of relative isolation and unimpeded access to the black market, the large Dulaman population of the Bloodcobble district has made many different and alluring drinks in order to help them deal with their miserable living conditions. This has resulted in many famed exotic drinks such as Thunder Vodka, Demons in the Dark Beer, Dragon's Blood Tequila, and the infamous Dulaman Fire Whiskey. Dulaman Fire Whiskey. Hey, if you don't know what Dulaman Fire Whiskey is, it is a favorite beverage of Jacob Bastion. He actually killed someone with some Dulaman Fire Whiskey. Epic. I think it was part 2 of the season finale of season 2. Looks like we know where to get the best brews now. Demons in the Dark Beer. I like that one too. I like that name a lot. Demons in the Dark Beer. Sounds frothy. Let's continue. Due to the lack of technological advancement, you will often find that most technology used in Bloodcobble is a mishmash of different tech from different eras. Computer parts and machine tools coming together to make totally unique and unstable contraptions only found in Bloodcobble. This fact alone should be the foundation for any character looking to be a creator of things from the Bloodcobble district. So if you're someone who's looking to be the type of person that creates things with machinery, engineering, or so on and so forth, the Bloodcobble district, you should probably use that as a foundation to build off of. Okay. Thanks to Bloodcobble being one of the few large but mostly unused ports in Haven, there are no real restrictions on what can be bought or sold there, which has resulted in Bloodcobble's infamous meat market. There you can find many different kinds of exotic or endangered animals on sale as pets or livestock. And if you go deeper into the recesses of the meat market, then you will find that G-type meat is also for sale to fill any labor needs you might have. That's gross. That's gross. Are we insinuating here that Bloodcobble has a little bit of a cannibalistic demographic? Is there some cannibal culture deep within the recesses of the Bloodcobble? Oh, that's nasty. G-type meat. G meat. Okay. Many historical sites are a part of Bloodcobble, including Widow's Way. I think this might be my favorite portion of this batch of lore that J&J lore submitted. Many historical sites are a part of Bloodcobble, including Widow's Way. Widow's Way was the site of a mass execution. Widow's Way was the site of mass executions during the fall of the last great merchant king of Haven, where the loyalists to the king, and eventually the king himself, were killed by hanging from lampposts. This has resulted in the place becoming a hive for many of the more undesirable and outright dangerous types of supernatural creatures, phenomena, and mutations. Many couples who are expecting will leave this district or this area, Widow's Way, to give birth and then return later just so their child has a decreased risk of gaining some type of accursed mutation that will haunt them in the family. This is also the birthplace of the famed TV and movie star Roderick O'Neill, the detective of the damned. That's a nice submission right there. That gives us a iconic location within the district. One thing I want to mention here is you're going to see all this lore that's being submitted. It's going to have a nice little spot on the world building website, and you'll be able to peruse all the lore. So I just wanted to remind you of that. But we have a spot for iconic locations, and this definitely belongs there. I like how Bloodcobble has pretty much become this bizarre district with a dash of supernatural. We got cannibals, missing magical children, archaeological digs, mystery meat, and demon beer. So, this particular submission is also a nice callback to Roderick O'Neill. So, who's Roderick O'Neill? So, we know Roderick O'Neill as a TV star and alleged supernatural medium. The last time we saw him, he was under Atlas influence and was hired to host and provide the ceremonial consumption of a spiritual brew that's used by Nebi warriors looking to take on the spiritual trial of the Chi Beast Wolf. Now, Roderick was hired to poison the brew that was given to Makai, which led to Makai's death and thus Amanda V's short reign over Nebu. Roderick isn't a bad person. He wasn't a bad person. I mean, at that time, Atlas was circulating a lot of false allegations around Makai. And so I believe Roderick thought he was doing Nebu a favor by getting rid of this person who was getting ready to rule Nebu against Amanda V. Mind you, Makai was half Nebi, half Dorinthian, and Amanda V was full Nebi. So a lot of people really felt she was the rightful ruler, or should be. And with all the lies that Atlas was spreading, all that propaganda, I think Roderick really felt he was doing the right thing. Anyway, blood races. The blood races are a Mad Max style race through the district, sponsored by various gangs to decide who owns what turf. These races are an alternative if neither side wants to go to war, or just want to have fun. I love that one. So remember, not every story arc has to involve bloodshed and combat. I could totally see an entire arc being a 3-episode arc about an intense blood race. So that said, you may want to befriend someone who can hook you up with a nice Nice monster ride for the blood races. Remember that? Remember I mentioned that, you know, every season would end with a fun episode. I think it would be cool if we had like a wacky races, but blood races. All right, let's continue. Squid Baron chimes in with some fun facts and lore for the Bloodcobble district. Mind you, Squid Baron is the person who created the Bloodcobble district, and along with the Bloodcobble district, he created the race Dulliman. Okay, so he says a few common slang terms from Bloodcobble. Ooh, this should be interesting. Calico, used to refer to valuables such as money, weapons, or desirable women and men. Ain't that a nice piece of calico you got there? It sounds right. It sounds like it could be, you know, calico. Ain't that a nice piece of calico you got? Boiled egg, a wealthy and powerful crime lord. Quote, Devney's a real boiled egg. Steer clear of him if you want to keep your teeth. Dewdropper, someone who is weak or useless. You lousy dewdropper, get back on your feet. Codden, something funny or out of place. Well, look here. Some codden southern rat trying to make a claim on our streets. Some codden. That sounds bad. That sounds like a term. Arseways, meaning fucked up. Things went arseways back in that shimmy, and that's why I'm asking you to reattach this here finger. Langers, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't think it's langers, but langers. Seriously drunk or drugged. Careful with my pal here. He's completely langers right now. You know, I'm going to be allowing players to submit dialogue with their submissions as well. That seems like a feature that a lot of the players liked in the past. I encourage players to utilize lore like this to really add that extra touch of culture to their character. I think it would be cool if every race and district had little nuances like this. You lousy dewdroppers. Spats. Spats are shoe coverings. They are a common fashion statement among Bloodcobble mobsters, in part because they're good at keeping gore off of your shoes. Many gangs have unique patterns embroidered on their spats. Ooh, I like that. Leading to a common habit among Bloodcobblers of figuring out one's loyalty by looking at their feet. Yo, Squid Baron, what are you doing? Are you just like in the laboratory just coming up with this shit? I really like that. I can see that being... it seems so real. Is that based off of real life culture or something? I can just see it now. Man, see? You're not a true boiled egg till you get yourself some calico quality spats, see? Nah, you lousy dewdroppers, man, see? All right. Vaudeville shows. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Vaudeville shows are among the most popular form of entertainment in Bloodcobble, and many of the older shows have strange superstitions tied to them. One particularly infamous legend surrounds a comedy called The Yellow Handkerchief, which is rumored to summon an abyssal horror if the entire show is performed on stage. For that reason, the final page of the play has never been reprinted, although rumors exist of the original copy still existing in Haven. This goes hand in hand with the supernatural aspects of the Bloodcobble district that we're seeing get developed. I mean, think about it. Could the Yellow Handkerchief be a result of all those slain in the past on Widow's Way? And maybe a vengeful abyssal spirit vying to make its return from the abyss gets its day when the final page of that show or that play is recited. Ooh, think about that. Or maybe people who claim this is true, and that, you know, that whole myth around the abyssal spirit, maybe they're just a bunch of dew-dropping langers. Mash, eh? The Mirage Club. Ooh, a little bit of culture here. The Mirage Club is one of the few high-end vice dens in Bloodcobble to remain prosperous. continuing to serve as a hotspot for drinking, gambling, and other sorts of illicit activities. Having been around since the heyday of Bloodcobble, it has seen the rise and fall of many peoples and regimes, with quite a few upstarts in the fields of art and politics getting their start within its walls. Ooh, I'm getting like a little Harlem Renaissance vibe. The location has swapped ownership numerous times. Twice it has been gambled away at its own tables. This success has been attributed to a group known as the Patrons, strange people who have visited the Mirage Club once a week for the last 200 years. Rumors exist around the Patrons, many of which connect to abyssal rituals and blood sacrifices, which have been used not only to ensure their immortality, but also to make sure that their meeting place is never exposed or taken from them. Slow motion. I could see this being a hub for lots of questionable activity, but I really like how he's tying it to the abyss. There's some kind of supernatural tie-in to the abyss here that I'm really feeling. It got really dark when he said rituals and blood sacrifices, and that's pretty common. And we see a lot of that with the Survey Day cult, so that's not out of place at all. Bloodcobble was at one point the center of Haven's wealth, with its valuable shipping industry making many a fortune. This led to the rise of some of Haven's first major organized crime rings, which often used their authority to control the many goods that came into and out of the city. This regime was ironically what brought about the district's downfall, as the exponentially increasing mob presence drove many of the merchants who once frequented Bloodcobble to flee south and create what would become the other major business districts of Haven. Various gangs have continued to fight over territory in the district, continuing to struggle over increasingly desolate territory to feed a twisted sense of honor. The shipping industry is a fraction of what it once was, and nowadays the only profits to be found in the district lie in smuggling, drug dealing, and other illicit practices. Y'all are really making these districts, these races, awesome. Hey, next up we have Henri 2135. And Henri says, the cobblestone roads in the district have never been repaired, and in some places have withered away to cobble, thanks to the stray gunfire and heavy loads. So now we're starting to kind of see the aesthetic of the district. And that was touched on briefly in the base lore. The height of buildings in Bloodcobble is nearly 1/5 that of most other districts due to the unstable ground that the district was built on. Okay, Bloodcobble. Many of the crime family, after each lore, I'm just going to start saying the district or whatever the topic is about. Many of the crime families have expanded their operations deep underneath Bloodcobble into the old sewer system, using tech smuggled in from the rest of Haven, creating a contrast of old and new. Hey, I'm seeing some synergy here with the other person that submitted something very similar. I'm loving it. Due to the crowdfunding, due to the overcrowding in the district, a thriving pickpocket ring has been set up through most main streets and back alleys. In the center of the district, there is an old well that is commonly used for dumping bodies after dark. Bloodcobble district. That's nasty. That's pretty gross. Probably smells terrible. But then again, what does the rest of Bloodcobble smell like? Probably worse than the well. So, culture, the Freight, The Freight is an underground operation run by good Samaritans, quote unquote, that will smuggle you in and out of the district for a small fee. Many of the crime families know of this and often will send excursions to hunt them down, getting lost in the tunnels. Due to being secluded from the surface for so long, many members of the Freight have developed a low, hushed accent that echoes less than the tunnels and helps keep their operations hidden. Ooh. I just got like that movie Us. You know how that one chick, she's like, that's a bad impression, but her vocal cords are like pretty much strained. So I'm getting the feeling that the Freight, like they're so used to whispering as to not to, give away their activities, that now they just whisper all the time. Interesting. You hear that? Thriving pickpocket ring. Remember Timbers Gray? I wonder if he was part of the Freight. He would have flourished in the Freight. All right, so hey, that is it for what was submitted for the Bloodcobble district. As far as expanding the Bloodcobble district, if you liked it, go into the comments section. Let the people who submitted this great lore know how much you liked it. I want to know if this is a place, what kind of business do you see your character having in this district? Just curious. I mean, there's a lot to play with here. Man, I got me some new Calico quality spats. Gonna go ahead down to the Mirage Club and watch me a vaudeville show. Don't. I'm a hard-boiled egg. I sound like the grandpop from Hey Arnold. Hit that like button. Stoke the flames of creation, because we got some more lore building to do. Keep an eye out for some more videos as we are on the road and very, very close to season 3. I'm more excited than you are. Peace out.